told you it was chemistry, that mysterious rush when your chest tightens, your pulse races, and your mind refuses to think of anything except one person's smile, their voice, their presence. They told you it was magic, destiny, life itself reaching out through another human being. They told you that being overwhelmed by attraction was the purest sign of connection, of desire, of love. But Carl Jung would look you in the eye and say, no, it isn't chemistry, it isn't magic, it's your shadow. Because sexual attraction, as Jung revealed, is not just about love or compatibility. It's not even about the person standing in front of you. It's about something much deeper. It's a psychological explosion, one that often reveals more about your wounds than your wants. When you're drawn to someone so powerfully that you feel powerless, that isn't love. That's projection. Jung believed that within every man lives an image of the feminine, the anima. Within every woman lives an image of the masculine, the animus. These inner figures are not abstract theories. They are emotionally charged forces shaped by everything we've suppressed, denied, or never developed in ourselves. And when we meet someone who reflects that hidden image, our psyche ignites. It whispers. That person holds what you lack. You don't fall in love with them. You fall in love with the reflection of the part of yourself you've never met. This is why attraction so often feels irrational. You may know the person is toxic, unavailable, manipulative, even dangerous. But logic doesn't matter. The pull is stronger than reason because your unconscious believes you finally found completion. And that's where the trap begins. Now, imagine what this means in a world where seduction is weaponized, where people learn, sometimes consciously, often instinctively, that the way to dominate is not through force, but through reflection, by becoming the fantasy you're already searching for, by mirroring back the unconscious image you crave. Men who never confront their anima are not choosing. They're being chosen by their wounds. And if a woman learns how to embody his fantasy, even without realizing it, he will surrender. He will call it love. But it isn't love. It's projection wearing a mask. Jung warned that when two personalities meet, something powerful always happens. Like two chemical substances colliding, both are transformed. A man who never felt truly seen by his mother may find himself endlessly drawn to women who withdraw love, who give affection only when he chases, who make him feel invisible unless he proves his worth. To him, this feels like destiny. He tells himself, this is the one. But in reality, he is not falling in love. He is trying to rewrite the past. He is trying to win a battle he lost in childhood. This is the compulsion of unresolved trauma. Not always from physical abuse, but from emotional patterns that were never healed. The woman becomes the battlefield where he tries to earn what should have been freely given. And when she denies him, he aches more. So he desires her more. And women are not free from this cycle either. There are women who are not seeking love, but power. They don't want to be held. They want to be chased, worshipped, obsessed over. They weaponize their sexuality not out of cruelty, but out of pain. Their shadow was never shown safe affection. Their earliest lessons taught them that to be wanted was safer than to be loved. So they learn that desire can dominate, and when a man collapses at their feet, they feel alive. But the moment he asks for intimacy, the illusion shatters and they run. Sexual attraction is not always connection. Sometimes it is a trap, a psychological snare where your deepest unmet needs disguise themselves as longing. And in this trap, no one is truly loving. They are reenacting, performing, trying to resolve what was broken long before the relationship began. Jung didn't uncover these truths to make us afraid of desire. He revealed them so we could become conscious of it, so we could stop asking only, "Who do I love?" and start asking, "Why do I crave who I crave?" Because until you answer that question, you will keep choosing the same person in 100 different bodies. You'll call it fate, but it's just your shadow pulling the strings. There was once a man, highly successful, respected, intelligent. Yet every time he fell in love, it was with a woman who rejected him. One left him for someone else. Another ghosted him after intimacy. Another mocked him when he showed vulnerability. Different women, same story. And though he told himself each time, "She's not right for me," he kept going back. Why? Because his unconscious wasn't chasing love. Women too fall into this compulsion. Many find themselves drawn again and again to men who are dominant, exciting, but cold. Men who withhold affection as if it were a prize to be earned. They say things like, "Why am I only attracted to men who hurt me? Why do I lose interest when a man is too kind?" It's not a flaw in their personality. It's the programming of the unconscious. Somewhere in the past, they learned that love must be earned. That indifference means you have to fight harder. That rejection is proof you should prove your worth. So the moment a man turns away, attraction spikes. Not because he's healthy, but because he feels familiar, and familiarity is dangerous. The unconscious says, "There it is, the pain you know. Let's try to fix it this time." And if that man knows how to play this role, he becomes her obsession. Not because she loves him, but because she is haunted by the ghost of her father. Her first heartbreak, her earliest wound. This is what Jung called a repetition compulsion. You will replay the pain until you finally make it conscious. And only then, when you see the pattern, does the spell break. Until then, the more toxic it feels, the more magnetic it becomes. Because the most powerful trap of attraction is that the wound feels like passion. The pain feels like chemistry. The chaos feels like destiny. But it is none of those things. It is simply your shadow, reaching through another person's body, begging you to pay attention. So, what is the solution? Do we abandon love? Do we fear attraction forever? Jung's answer was not to reject desire, but to understand it. To stop assuming that attraction equals alignment. To become investigators of our own cravings. To ask, why do I feel this pull? What emotion are they triggering in me? Is this desire born from wholeness or from emptiness? Because if your attraction comes from lack, it will always seek to fill a hole, and no human being can ever fill that hole for you. The only one who can is you. Jung called the path to healing individuation, integrating the shadow, embracing the anima and animus, confronting the parts of yourself you've disowned. Only then can you choose freely, instead of being dragged by unconscious strings. And here's the paradox. When you finally heal, the people who once set your heart on fire will no longer hold power over you. The storm will lose its glamour. Peace will feel possible. And at first, that peace will feel strange, even boring, because your nervous system is addicted to chaos. But stay with it, because peace is not boring, it is foreign. And once you learn to make it your home, love transforms. The love that once enslaved you becomes the love that frees you. The attraction that once trapped you becomes the attraction that grounds you. And instead of chasing someone to finish your story, you finally begin one of your own. So, ask yourself, is the spark you feel around someone truly love? Or is it your wound, calling you back to repeat what you never resolved? The answer to that question could save you years of pain. Because the truth is this, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you haven't healed. And when you finally heal, desire itself changes. It no longer drags you toward the tragedy of your past. It draws you toward the wholeness of your future. That is the love Jung wanted us to find.